That was fantastic. And lots of men appreciated that talk. Now, just to clear the record, when I said we were going to teach skills and stuff, I had no idea what was on her list. She ended there very accurately talking about reuniting people and reuniting commitments and reuniting yourself with your biggest dreams and your biggest goals. And once you find a way that truly works like this, once you come across a path that truly can lead to where you want to go, something that actually works, once you have this in your life, there's one skill that you're going to need in order to make it. And I was inspired to come up with this talk. I've actually been kicking around this talk for over 3 months. I was inspired to do a talk of this nature by Bill Lewis as I listened to his remake of an old recording, and his remake is called Rumor, Hearsay, and Popular Opinion. And I was listening to it. If you don't have that CD, you need to get it. And I was listening to it late at night, driving home from somewhere for maybe the 3rd or 4th time in a row. And the thought was just burning in my head that there's one primary skill that CD reinforces. And I thought there needs to be a follow-up CD to that to really anchor it home and give practical application of what he was basically teaching on that talk. And I guess I can start what I'm talking about here with a story. I was almost to the point of quitting my job. I was making about as much in this as I was as an automotive engineer. Terry had already left her job. I had a new old Cadillac, new to me at least. It had a Dream Big license plate on the back. I'd only owned it a few weeks. I didn't know it was a lemon yet. I was still thrilled with it. And it'd be the last Fragile-Lac I would ever own. I had it all cleaned up, packed up, ready to go, and I had an appointment in a distant state to show the plant. I'd taken Friday off work. Terry had arranged for she's pregnant? Oh yeah, she was pregnant at the time. She didn't have a baby yet. No, she did have a baby. So she had arranged for someone to go with something. Anyway, she'd made all the arrangements, and I had taken a day off work. We had the Cadillac ready. I'll never forget. We woke up early in the morning. It was going to be a long drive, 9, 10, 11 hours to this distant state. And I had started this guy and kind of slung him down in a group, and he was a great guy. I'd known him from work and looked like a great, and he kind of got started, and something happened in the line of sponsorship between he and I, and he kind of got blown out. Well, he didn't tell me that until the morning I was opening my garage door to drive to his state and go work with him. Now, I don't know why this set me off, but it did. And I really was ticked. Here I was, all excited about what this could do, what I could help this guy do. I was all set to drive halfway across the country, and he calls and cancels me right as I'm leaving the house. And I just kind of blew a gasket. And I told Terry, get in the car. And I just pulled out of the garage, and we drove down some roads. I didn't know where I was going. And she tried to talk to me, I wouldn't even answer. I'm just driving. I had my teeth clenched, I'm bending the steering wheel around. I wasn't mad at that guy, it's his personal choice. I was mad at the situation and the fact that I was trying so hard to make this work and I wasn't going as fast as I wanted to go. And it wasn't even moving as fast as I thought I'd earned it to go. I felt like I should be farther at that point. And we drove, and we drove, and we drove, and we drove. And you know what? Sometimes being a queen for your king means knowing when you don't have to say anything. She didn't patronize me. She didn't quote CDs at me. She didn't go to Proverbs and start reading them to me. All of those might have gotten her a bus ticket back home at that point in my journey of development. She was just with me. She just was exactly what I needed. A quiet, calm, collected, determined co-pilot. She sat in her little chair over there, believing in me like crazy. And I drove all the way up to Mackinac City in Michigan. About a 4-hour drive at the time. I pulled up to a hotel, checked in, got a book, drug my carcass across the street, sat on a park bench right at the base where the bridge goes across, watching the waves roll in, feeling the wind in my face, and I started reading this biography on Lincoln. Terry said, should I call Orrin? Not yet. I read that biography on Lincoln until it got too dark to see, drugged myself back across the road, went in the hotel room, went out to dinner. Next morning I felt a little bit better. By Saturday evening, we called Orrin, I prepared myself. I even found out some people who quit my business were camping nearby and invited them over. Because we ended up with this weird suite with all these bedrooms. We had like 9 beds in this. I said, you guys, come on over, we'll have a good time. So these quitters came over and hung out with us. And they actually got excited and got back in. They didn't know how close I was to quitting. It's like, oh really, you want to get back in? Okay. Well, yeah, I'll sign it right up. Let me get the pen. Here's the key point. Here's the key point I want you to understand. This is important stuff. Almost as important as number 1 and 12 on her list. Here's the key point. Sorry to distract you. It's like TV commercials, distraction, you know. All right. We have all of us up here have felt like quitting multiple times. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the business. There's not. But here's the fact. You will be tempted to quit every good thing you ever do in your life. You'll be tempted to quit it. That woman that was up here, shining so brightly, I broke up with her several times after I'd proposed to her. One time after she moved to my town to get ready to marry me. Talk about quitting good stuff. Now I unquit just in time, luckily. But I mean, you're going to be tempted to quit every good thing you've ever had in your life. She's the best thing that's ever happened in my life. I almost quit her 3 or 4 times. Then we got married, everything was fine. It's the weirdest thing. I just had the coldest feet any man's ever had. Quitting is a natural temptation in all great endeavors. And the chief skill to success is learning how to not cave into it. And I'm going to give you some practical application for that. Terry and I are only up here because we didn't quit. Because our Mackinac moments didn't last. Because we didn't cave in to the temptation to slink back into the hole we crawled out of. This talk might be called, Just Don't Do It. Or it might be called Coming Back to Life. Or it can be called the antidote for a 95% twitch. Have you ever had a 95% twitch? You get involved in this, you start listening to information, it starts making sense. You're different, you're changing, you're starting to think like a millionaire. Everything looks different, everything makes sense. You're on a journey, you're getting better, you can feel the growth, your relationships are getting better, you're dreaming again. And then something happens and you just... a little bit of the old you pops in, you know, just a little 95% twitch, and out comes an F-bomb or something. Where did that come from? Or you snap at your kids, because I said so! Or you catch yourself in some old dumb habit, you know? Or worse, video games, grown-up man. Or you join your softball leagues again or something. A little 95% twitch. All right, so this is the antidote for 95% twitch. We all have them. Or it could be called holding on and getting through. Or it could be called the Mackinac talk. If I could float back in time, change my voice a little bit, and give myself this talk, maybe it'd scoop me through that little moment a little quicker. But what I think I'll call it is the lifesaver talk. Because I like to pun. I'm kind of into puns. Have you heard about my puns? This is like a nitrous or an aspirin to a heart patient. Sometimes you just need a little help. Now let me help you understand. There's all different kinds of quits. There's the temper tantrum quit. That's it! I have one child. That's his mode of operation. I mean, that's how he does it. You know, just something. He's going to remove himself from the situation and punish the world with his absence. But actually, that's what we're kind of hoping for when he does, you know. Just don't forget, if you do quit this, there'll be someone that's happy about it. Stick around and make it rough on them. The other kind of quit is kind slow fade. And you don't think your upline notices. Yeah. Your upline mentioned some CD. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's an awesome CD. What you like best about it? Oh, this is round. But it was good, though. Chris and Amy Lewis on there were fantastic. You can tell so fast when someone's not reading, listening, associated, and they're on the slow fade. They're not really in, but they're still kind of acting like they're in. It's pathetic. All right, then the third one is the just for now, or maybe you call it the put it on pause quit. I'm still in. I ain't quitting. I'll be back around. But you don't understand, my goldfish has a bunion. I can't make it to the major function. You don't understand. I ain't quitting, going nowhere. I'm in this, Chris. I'm your man. I'm going PC. Look at my eyes. I'm going PC. But first, I got all kind of excuses I got to live through first. The bowling fellas, they need me. Can't quite get the time off. You know, I'm just not as fired up as I used to be. I mean, I heard everything. It's still quitting. Still quitting. All right. So let's go through the top 10 reasons that make us feel like quitting. This is kind of what makes you feel like quitting. How could you ever get to the point where you'd want to quit this? Now, understand, there are certain things you should quit. Like quitting. Which is actually logically possible. But, I mean, it's okay to quit smoking, maybe. It's okay to quit drinking. It's okay to, quit kicking your dog. Although, I'm not all that much against that. I'm kidding. Don't report me to your local animal guy. All right. So, there are some, I'm pretty happy I quit my job at the appropriate time once financing right. I mean, it's okay to quit certain things that aren't serving God's purpose in your life, but not this. Let me go through why. All right, here's kind of the top 10. You can, anyway, first one is I can't do it. You can legitimately get to a point where you might feel that you can't do this. Either that you don't have the ability or you don't have, quote, what it takes. Now, hopefully, Bill Lewis has told